Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Cheers to those of you that have your beers. Today we're trying the Pyramid Hefeweizen. It's pretty good. I'm not going to complain about it. It's not as good as the Windmeer Hefeweizen that I've tried, but the Pyramid's okay. Anyways, today's topic, because we did not have a tool truck stop by. There was a holiday on Monday. I was expecting Gear Wrench today. And so I did not get my cool new tool, so we cannot do Tool Haul Tuesday. So we're gonna have a topic for the day, and it's called "Where'd you learn how to drive?" I always enjoy hearing other people's stories as far as what they first learned how to drive, how they learned how to drive. You know, how'd you learn how to drive a stick shift, or did you start off with an automatic? Do you still not know how to drive a stick shift to this day? Some people can laugh, but there are a lot of people out there that just don't know how to drive a manual transmission and don't want to learn how to drive one. And that might be actually okay for you. You might not have to worry about it. A lot of these cars are going electric. Now we've got self-driving cars, etc. So you may never need to know how to drive a manual transmission or stick shift. But if you're an automotive mechanic, yeah, you're still going to drive them. So you might as well learn how to drive sooner or later. At any rate, my little story goes like this. When I was a teenager, we had a little Oldsmobile that was my great-grandfather's, and when they lost their ability to drive, and I was living with my grandparents at the time frame, we would get groceries from the store, and we lived in a condominium complex at the time, and I remember there was a stretch, it was probably like 200-yard, 300-yard stretch between where our condo was and where the parking lot was. And they would let me, when I was like 15 years old, as I was studying for my test, they would let me cruise it down from the condo all the way down to the parking spot, turn it off, lock it, and come back. And that was an automatic. Being a young adolescent teen, one of the first things that I definitely wanted but did not ever get the okay for is I definitely wanted a crotch rocket. They would not give me the okay for it. They did, however, tell me that if I passed my motorcycle test that they would consider it. So as soon as I passed the written exam for my driver's license, and then the driving portion of the test, I think I had to wait at least 12 months with having a driver's license before I could actually go back and take the M1 motorcycle written test. And then of course you can go get a bike and then have your permit and so forth until you do the driving portion or go to a motorcycle class. At any rate, I did pass the written test for the motorcycle when I was very young. Didn't study at all, just kind of knew what I learned about bikes between riding quads and dirt bikes and things like that. And you know, my stepdad, he had, you know, crotch rockets, and he had the Honda Goldwing, and so, you know, he'd let us sit up there and push the buttons and do all different types of stuff. So you kind of got the gist of what was on a street bike and what I could and could not do on a motorcycle as far as dirt, because a lot of the same, you know, bends, twists, stopping, all that other stuff, it all is pretty much the same. But at any rate, the real funny story, the one that I wanted to share with you guys the most, was how I learned how to drive a stick shift. So after I got the no-go for getting a crotch rocket, the next thing that I wanted to get was some kind of stick shift. And I was really looking at like some kind of rugged terrain or all-terrain vehicle. Now at that point in my life, I was probably 5'10", maybe 5'11", something like that, and I really enjoyed the Toyota Tacoma. And so as I grew, I got to be about 6 feet tall. And that I kind of capped out around 6'1", and then my spine kind of shrunk later in life, but I'm still about 6 feet, 6'1" if I stand up perfectly straight. But I didn't know how to drive a stick shift. We didn't have one in the family for me to try it out on. And I think I probably would have blown through a few clutches before I actually learned how to drive it, to be honest, because I would dump it quite a bit. But I would go to the dealerships on every single weekend and test drive the Toyota Tacoma, the Mazda Proteges, you know, the Toyota Celicas. Like, I would be in these cars, a Ford Probe, I think it was called. I would be in these things, man, just freaking going to town, man, learning how to drive a stick shift. And the salesmen, they didn't really care. They're thinking, you know, this kid's young, you know, he's probably got money, or his parents got money. Let him drive what he wants. They gave no thought to like me being not having any kind of credit line or even care. I wasn't trying to fill out any loans or anything like that. But I would go through and test drive these things. The salesman basically walked me through how to drive a stick shift, and that's how I learned how to drive. So then later in life, you know, as I would go out and get on my own, One of the first cars that I actually bought for myself was a 2000 Ford Mustang with a V6, and it had a manual transmission. Absolutely loved that car. But that's how I learned how to drive a stick shift. And of course, my grandparents would tell me stories about how when they were younger, you know, that's all that they had were manual transmissions. They didn't have, you know, the automatics, because in their time frame, automatics cost a lot more than the manual transmissions. It was more of a luxury kind of a car. Nowadays, I mean, it's almost the opposite. You can usually get a manual transmission for a little cheaper than you can an automatic, but most part, they're pretty much right in the same category. And in some higher end cars, if you want that real sportsy kind of feel and you want the stick shift, in some cases a salesman will even have the manual transmission cars on the higher side and the automatics will fall a little bit lower because they're not as sought after. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought it would be a good topic for today, especially since we didn't have a tool truck come by, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts and opinions on it. You know, where did you learn how to drive your first car? Was it a manual transmission? Was it an automatic transmission? Did you learn in the parking lot like I did, you know, of your own home or what have you? Or did you learn on the back roads, you know, in Texas or Tennessee, you know, just off-roading in your dad's, you know, Bronco or whatever? I'd love to hear your guys' stories. Please feel free to put it down in the comments for me. And then also, I wanted to give a huge shout out again to my boy Snap Mac, who during our last live stream won the Craftsman handy cut or flush cut pliers that I saw over at Sears. These things were basically $17.99, and I wanted to show you the Blue Point ones that I picked up. They cost me a little over $40. The exact same thing, guys, in almost every single way. So I'm not exactly sure who truly makes this, but yeah, it was rebranded. I'd never seen these before. Didn't know what they were called. You know, you can search Amazon sometimes all you want and can't seem to find it. And then wouldn't you know, when you buy something like this, somebody else comes out with something like this, you figure out what it's actually called, you start typing it in, next thing you know, everybody and their mother is selling the same exact thing. So, pretty cool though. I've had these for about a couple years now, and I just got these this last weekend. So I'll be mailing off the other set to him, the brand new set, unopened box, and I'm keeping one for the house and then one at work. But I thought I'd bring it home and share that with you guys. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to my boy Kyle from Rustbelt Mechanic and Jimbo from JRC54. They sent me the May Tool Heads crate box. If you guys haven't seen it or don't know about it, make sure to check them out. I'll put the link down in the description to their channels. Let's see what's in here. For those of you that were in the live stream, you might have seen it. For those of you that weren't, this is all going to be new goodie stuff for you. So at any rate, here we go. Here are the contents of May. Starting it off, we got a little nail brush. So that's kind of nice, you know, clean up your fingers when at the end of the day, try to get the grease out from underneath your nails if that's your thing. So that's a nice little handy, neat item. Love having microfiber rags. Dust the motorcycle helmet off, get the bugs off, whatever. Works great on windows. Maybe you want to wipe your toolbox. I don't know. I really don't wipe my toolbox down, but you could use it for a lot of different things. You can even clean the inside of your window. Okay, so microfiber rags rock. Not really sure what this is. Wet Hands First Zolex hand cleaner. Removes virtually anything. So I don't know. Looks like some of it might have dried up in here. Whew, that's strong. At any rate, we'll take that to work. We'll give it a go-ski and see how it works out. Looks like we got some sticker here. Keep it clean, Grease Monkey tool head sticker. Got some monkey wipes, a couple of business cards, a little bit more information about the Zolox hand cleaner. We got a Cowhawk parts cleaning brush, so if you want to clean some parts off, nice nylon ends. Clean up some parts. Maybe take that to your mineral spirits tank or wash tank. Use it to clean off some of the grease on intakes, etc. And then we got the toolbox cleaner. Waterless wash and wax. I made the joke on the live stream that I usually just use 15W40 and 5W30 because I never wipe my boxes down. They're gloss black for a reason. I do like the really nice bright colors like green and yellow and orange, and from time to time it's kind of nice to give it a once over, but to be honest, I've got a matte green Matco service cart at the moment. I guess I could try it out on that, but usually I just hit it with some Windex if I'm gonna do it at all. To be honest, I really don't keep up on it. I think I might have cleaned the box twice in the last 2 years now of owning it, so just to kind of show you how often I actually clean it. But it's a thought that counts, so thank you very much. You never know who's gonna be a clean freak. You guys might actually enjoy this product. I might just take it to work and try it out on the Harbor Freight 56-inch, which is really dirty, and see if it works or how well it works. So that might be kind of interesting. And then we got a Tool Headz t-shirt, Grease Monkey, Dirty Mouths, Clean Tools. Pretty cool freaking logo. Love the t-shirts. I'm a t-shirt guy, man. I really love t-shirts. Definitely be wearing that. We also got a little 8mm SP Tools bottle opener. That's kind of cool. You know, I'm kind of a fan of my Quinn, but I like the fact that you can just throw this on your keychain. I might give that to Shane. I know that he enjoys an adult beverage from time to time, so I might just give that to him. We also got some mini brushes, Cowhawk 3-piece. So sometimes it's kind of nice to have these that don't touch battery acid for other things, cleaning up threads, maybe cleaning up some interior, some upholstery work with the nylon one, kind of get around the edges of some of the plastic without having to remove all this trim. So these are kind of nice to have. I pick some up usually from Harbor Freight. The fact that I got these in the box is even better because I was actually thinking about picking up another 3-piece set. So that's pretty cool. Funny story before we go about Cowhawk, in case you guys weren't there in the live stream. So we actually have 2 dudes that come around in the same Toyota Tundra. Must have been like every month, like once a month at least. And for the last 3 months. I haven't seen them this month, but for the last 3 months they've come by at least once a month. And they have the truck bed just completely saturated in these Cowhawk products that remind me of Harbor Freight. And they're trying to sell them for snap-on prices. I think there was like a torque spigot set or something real small and generic that you wouldn't really expect to cost a whole lot. And I was like, all right, yeah, that seems like a pretty nice set, you know, and how much is that run? And he's like, that's like 80 or 90 bucks, I think. And I was like, all right. So I was kind of looking around. I was like, how much is that? He's like, oh, that's 120. And I was like, nah, you know, I really don't need anything, man. I've already got stuff that I needed for the week. But thanks for stopping by and good luck to you, you know. I later went back onto Amazon and looked up this Cowhawk stuff that I was looking at. Literally half, if not less than half the cost. So these guys are trying to make it big as tool reps running out of their Toyota Tundra selling Cowhawk stuff. I think it's great. It's entrepreneurship. I gotta give them credit. 2 thumbs up for at least trying to make an effort and make something happen from nothing. Maybe they got a smoking deal and they thought they could win the hearts and minds over the mechanics in the neighboring shops, but a lot of us, you know, we can tell quality by looking at something, and to me, it just seemed like it was a bunch of Harbor Freight specials for snap-on prices. So, good luck, gentlemen. I appreciate the hard work that you put into your business and trying to kickstart it off the ground, but kind of hard to do that with Cowhawk. You might switch it up a little bit and maybe get some gear wrench and some other stuff that mechanics like, or at least go onto YouTube and listen to a lot of the other tool heads or tool addicts out there tell you what it is that they like and don't like, and then kind of gauge your business off of that. That's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks as always for watching. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. Share if you want to share. And if I get my cool tool in tomorrow, I'll be sure to come on back and share it with you. That's all I got for this video. We'll see you guys next time. Deuces.